going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have an extremely awesome match. This is against Rick, my good buddy Dangerous36M. A lot of you might remember him from way back in the day. He used to upload a lot of Wi-Fi battles, and he actually recently started up his channel again, and he's actually uploading videos, and I'm like, hell yeah, one of my good buddies is back. So this is an NU match. Like I said, I got kind of a random team going on. We just kind of threw together teams to just have a little bit of fun, actually. We did a good couple of matches, and yeah, so his link will be in the description. You gotta go check him out and tell him I sent you. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get this battle started. So looking at his team, I'm kind of expecting him to lead off with Torterra to get the Stealth Rocks up, but he actually ends up leading off with a damn Delibird as I lead off with Low Fat the Butterfree. On the first turn, I tried to go for the Sleep Powder and activate his Vital Spirit, and I was like, who the hell runs a Vital Spirit Delibird? I thought Hustle, Choice Band, kind of Delibird was the common thing. I mean, Delibird's never even common. It's like the second time I've ever even seen one. So yeah, I kind of screwed myself there with that Sleep Powder. It was overall pretty funny though. So now I decide to switch into Rock Lobster as he goes for a Freeze Dry, and that does a decent amount of damage to me, but I'm looking like I can probably live another one if I'm lucky, and I actually do end up living it with 10 HP, and this thing is not going to enjoy Rock Blast. Look at that, I would have killed it in one hit if it didn't have a Focus Sash. That's damn ridiculous. So Rock Lobster actually killed something. That's pretty badass. I mean, it was a Delibird, so yeah. But anyways, that Delibird kind of did its job, I guess. I don't know. It got a layer of spikes up. I wasn't even aware that this was something Delibirds do. But anyways, now he brings out his Mrs. Mime. It's a Mrs., not a Mister. And I just decided to let him kill my Crustle just because I didn't really have a free switch in. I kind of wanted to scout out what type of Mr. Mime this was. And now I'm like, alright, the Beast is about to come back out here. The Butterfree is going to go ahead and take a Dazzling Gleam. I live with 42 HP, and I'm like, alright, Butterfree, let's make something happen. Honestly, looking at his team, I noticed right off the bat that Butterfree actually seems pretty effective against this thing. Honestly, so that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna try to, you know, get something happening with Butterfree over here. So he switches out the sleeping Mr. Mime just because he doesn't want anything to be asleep later, and he's gonna go ahead and, you know, make the sleep claws action going on there. As he now brings in the Wheezing as I'm able to get a Quiver Dance up. Little did he know I have Psychic on my Butterfree. Don't ask me why. I guess for this situation right here, for Mucks and Wheezings, I put Psychic on my motherfucking Butterfree, and it actually paid off for me because he did expect the Giga Drain, which is actually more common, and I kind of pulled Psychic out of my back pocket, and he was like, he did not know what the hell hit him there. But anyways, now he brings out the Rhyhorn, and he didn't bring out the Rhyhorn in the first place because he expected me to have Giga Drain, but unfortunately for him, my only two attacking moves are Bug Buzz and Psychic. So I now decide to bring in No One Wants Me, the Meganium. This is actually a hidden ability. Meganium, it's got a stupid ability that literally doesn't even come in handy unless you have like a sun team going on. It's like Feraligatr and Typhlosion actually got something useful, and then they're like, oh, this is just the unwanted stepchild here. But anyways, so I missed that Leech Seed. This is why no one wants you, honestly. And now I predict a switch into the Torterra, thinking he was gonna go into that because I went for the Leech Seed. Missed it. He was probably like, alright, I'm gonna get the Torterra in, be able to you know, avoid that Leech Seed again. And I just decided to switch out into Primeape, kind of bluffing the Ice Punch. I potentially could have Ice Punch, but I actually don't on this Primeape, so I just decided to go for a U-turn as he is going to switch back into the Mrs. Mime, I apologize. So the U-turn is going to hit it pretty damn hard, and my Choice Scarfed Primeape is going to go ahead and get back in his Pokeball for later. So he still doesn't know if I have Ice Punch or not, and that's going to play a pretty decent, you know, role in this match here, as now I just decided to switch into Scar, who's going to get hurt by the spikes and the, you know, the stones and stuff like that. And the sleeping Mr. Mime. Look at this guy, Mr. Mime over here, has got his fucking eyes closed, still doing the glass box thing, which is a pretty interesting animation, honestly. I really like Mr. Mime's animation. It's pretty badass. But I just go for a Crunch that is going to kill the Mrs. Mime, and see you later. So now he brings out Riding Dirty, and at this point, it was really smart for him to get up the Stealth Rocks earlier, because now, next time I send in my Butterfree, I'm just going to go ahead and die to that rock damage, which is definitely worked out to his advantage, because seeing as this freaking Butterfree demolishes everything on his team, like, except for this Rhyhorn, or Rhydon, sorry. Ain't no Rhyhorn shit. But anyways, now I decide to get a free switch into No One Wants Me, just because I didn't want to take the hazard damage and then an attack and then maybe not be able to take another one. So I wanted to go for the Giga Drain and be able to get a lot of health back. So I do go for the Giga Drain here, I believe, as he switches into Davy Jones, the upside down squid. And that's going to take like no damage from this Giga Drain. And this Malamar was really at this point the only threat towards my team here, because this thing can start setting up them superpowers and be pretty motherfucking scary, honestly. But I'm looking pretty solid over here with my health on Meganium, so I just decided to go ahead and switch it out. Next time I come back in the hazards, I'm going to be looking pretty damn solid, as now I decided to bring in Cannons. And Cannons is going to take a knockoff, I believe. No, he goes for a substitute. No, sorry. He goes for a substitute, as that is actually not too good for me at all, because a Malamar behind a substitute is pretty damn threatening, considering he can get a nice little superpower on me. I do have the flame body on my Magmortar, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers that when he makes contact with me, he is going to get that flame body, so that's kind of a dumb strategy. But he does go for the knockoff, knocks off my choice specs, and doesn't get the burn. And I was like, well, this is the one reason why I have flame body on my Magmortar, is just for that reason, but it didn't even happen. So now I go for the Focus Blast, predicting a switch of some sort, and he actually does not, maybe into the Rhyhorn, but he actually does not switch. He just stays in, and he's able to get a superpower, and he's going to definitely not get the freaking flame body again, and he kills my Magmortar. So at this point, this Malamar is, like I said, pretty damn scary. He's at +1 attack, +1 defense. Although I do know that I do have Primeape, who can definitely do a lot of damage to this thing and outspeed it for sure. So I'm not really too scared, considering I still do have this Primeape. So now he's actually just going to go ahead and switch. He goes into the Rhydon Dirty, as I just decided to go for the U-turn, predicting that. I just didn't want to make sure that I have this Primeape at full health to take care of the Torterra, and actually, honestly, this Rhyhorn too. I mean, I guess I do still have No One Wants Me, but yeah. So I decided to switch into this guy. He's gonna get hurt by them spikes, by them rocks, and it leaves me at a pretty, decent amount of HP after the leftovers. So I'm feeling pretty solid about myself. At this point, I don't think he can kill me in one hit, so I'm just gonna go for the Giga Drain, get some health back. No matter what he does, he actually decides to switch into the Torterra, and the Torterra is actually gonna take a decent amount of damage from this Giga Drain. And I was like, all right, Meganium, putting in work, get a decent amount of health back. And after the leftovers, Meganium's looking fucking awesome. So I was like, alright, this thing's actually pretty damn useful, honestly. But he now decides to go for a Crunch, as that's going to do not too much to me, considering I'm actually a bold defensive-ass Meganium. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in, Giga Drain again. I don't have much to lose if I just stay in. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just stay in, get that Giga Drain. His Crunch is going to do a little bit more to me than my recovery, so it's actually going to be kind of an uphill battle for this Meganium. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, because I just need a free switch in into anything that can kill this here turtle with a tree on his back. So I got this thing to like red health, and I was like, alright, that is badass. And at this point, I still don't even actually know what set this Torterra is running. It might be Choice Bandit, I'm not actually entirely sure, but I was thinking this thing was going to be more of a defensive set. But now I just decided to switch into Scar. I'm going to get that entry hazard damage, as I'm also going to get that Intimidate, so his crunches aren't going to be able to do as much, as he just stays in, goes for one more crunch, and Luxray is definitely not going to die to that. Thank God, I lived with 11 HP. I was like, wow, after the Intimidate, I was expecting to live that with a lot more, which kind of leads me to believe that the thing's banded, but I'm not really too sure. So now I just decided to go for the Ice Fang, as he is going to switch into the Rhydon. I figured it was a safe move overall. It's not going to do too much to this thing at all, though, as I go for the second one, and I'm like, that actually looked like a lot more damage than the first one, honestly. I got that thing like to half, and I was like, wow, that was pretty unexpected, but alright. He roars me into the Primeape, and I'm like, okay, that's honestly not too bad, because now at this point I can just start throwing fists at shit, and it should do the job. So I just go for the close combat. So that is definitely going to kill the Rhydon. That's cool. Primeape is coming in pretty clutch here. I never use Scarfed Primeape that much in NU, honestly, but it's pretty damn powerful, let me tell you. So now he's just going to be able to bring in the Torterra. That thing is not going to enjoy these fists, as Primeape is just going to continue doing his thing, fucking shit up, and that tree is definitely dead right there. So at this point in the match, it's looking like Primeape is going to get a nice little cleanup sweep. I believe the last Pokemon he has is that Malamar, and that thing is at very low health in close combats. Gonna kill that shit anyway. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the match. If you guys want to see some awesome NU matches or in any types of tiered matches, you guys gotta for sure check out Rick's channel. I'm trying to get this guy some of his subscribers back. He was a fairly popular channel, and it's actually pretty crazy, because at the time I was starting my channel, he was one of the dudes I looked up to, and he was like one of the famous guys. I was like, oh man, I would one day love to be in your position. But it's awesome. We're really good friends, so you should for sure check out his channel. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.
I said I'm coming back around. And you ain't going nowhere, so put your jacket down. They might take me away, but guess who's back in town? The count feeling graduated with no cap and gown. I said I'm coming back.